Now, that's not done to be destructive to that person. That's done for me to assess what that person can do, what that person can't do, where the opportunities for growth are, and what we might be able to do to help that person. So I think that you have to look at, not everybody can be mentored the same way. And there's not a book that we can put out and a diagram that says, do this, do this, do this, do this. Because like I told you with the Bonnie story, she was honest to God, she was the crabbiest girl that ever worked for me. However, she was one of the best employees because she worked really hard, because she had something to prove. Why did she have something to prove? Because she had no dad. Her mother was weak. She was the strength in the family, and her husband was weak. And so, she had something to prove, and I had to work with that. So I think you have to know who you're working with and know what their capabilities are, and help them individually. Does that answer your question?
Yes. Thank you, Ron.
Okay. We have any more?
Yeah, Ron. Hey, this is Kurt. I have a question.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so this is my question because I've seen it pop up a few times. In life, do you believe you find yourself or create yourself?
Now, repeat that question again.
In life, through your journey throughout life, do you find yourself or do you create yourself? Or could it be both?
That's a good question, I believe that you find yourself and then create yourself. So let me explain that to you. So I think self-awareness is a big part of knowing who you are. And I think if you can sit down and analyze your self-awareness, and you know what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are. And by the way, it's not a problem to ask your mentor or coach, what are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? How do I make this better than what it is today? And if you can really sit down and say, be aware of who you are, then you can create yourself. Because I've looked at, here's a great thing. I mean, I've been fired a few times, and some people may say, God, that's catastrophic. What do I do? And my wife will say, this is one weird thing about me, is I never look at self-pity, and, it's not about me. So, and I really believe that. So, you look at, you're fired, and I've always looked at it as an opportunity to do something more, an opportunity of meeting new people, an opportunity of doing something greater than what I was doing for somebody who appreciated what I was doing, and create a new way of thinking for myself. So I really believe, your question is, you find yourself and then you create yourself. Did that answer your question, Kurt?
Yeah, no, that's the answer I was expecting to hear. I just wanted to see what your input was.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyone else?
Hi, Ron. It's Brock.
Yeah, Brock. How are you?
I'm good. So you brought up meditation. How do you actually make it like a habit? Because every time I try and meditate, I just can't focus, and I feel like I'm wasting my time.
So there has to be something or some place that allows you to get away from things. I realize I'm blessed because I can do it in my car. I can do it before I go to bed. I can think about, all the positive things. And again, meditation is where you can focus on the positive. You don't want to focus on the negative, and turn the negatives into a positive. So I think, Brock, there has to be a place where you like to go and it allows you to think. Some guys like to fish. I've been kind of bored with fishing myself, but because I like the interaction with people more so than anything. People energize me. And I learned a long time ago that when I was in sales and insurance sales, I learned a long time ago that the guy that slammed the door in my face and said, "I'm not buying any insurance," is usually the guy I sold, because that's my determination as a person. So I think it goes back to just what I told Kurt. Self-awareness, and you have to know yourself, and you have to know where you can take yourself into another world and start to think about what it is you need to do. That can be in a park, that can be at the ocean, just sitting there listening to the waves and letting that calming effect of the waves dig into your psyche and what you're going to do and help plan out what you're going to do. And it can be any place. For some people, it's church. You're energized in church. I mean, I had this weirdest experience, and I'm a faithful guy. Believe in my faith is strong. And I had this weird experience where I was in church and I asked the Holy Spirit to come on me, and I felt the blood rush out of my face and down through my body, through my feet. Now, some of you can argue, maybe had a blood sugar imbalance. I don't know. But I tend to believe that I was filled with the Spirit at that point when it happened. So you can be in an environment like church and have a transformational process happen to you. So I can't give you what your specific area is. I can only tell you that it's potentially anywhere you want to be. Where do you develop the most comfort? You go past the cemetery and you'll see people sitting. I was past Saturday, and I saw, well, not this Saturday, the Saturday before, and I saw a lady sitting on a blanket next to the tombstone. Looked like she was having a picnic. That brought her, I'm sure, peace, being with her husband or son or daughter, whoever she was with. So you have to find that inner peace in you that allows you to meditate and understand who you are, to develop your self-awareness so that you can be as successful as you possibly can. That's the best I can tell you, Brock, in this time frame here. Okay?
Yeah, thanks.
All right. Anyone else?
Yeah, hey Ron, it's Sean. I'm sitting here with Kurt today.
Yeah.
So my question to you here is, so you've given us kind of a synopsis of kind of how to network and things along those lines. For those who are interested and want to learn more, is there a way that they can get a hands on either a couple of the books that you've written, or maybe just get in contact with you in general after the Zoom call's over?
Well, I'll tell you, I am open to anyone reaching out. I've helped hundreds of people, and I'm not opposed to doing that. I think that you need to think about a couple things here. First of all, networking at a high level. When I look back at my career, and if I'm successful, and I'm not the determinant of that, you are. But if I'm successful in my career, I've got to sit back and say, how did I get successful? And if you determine I'm successful, you will ask for my help You will ask for my support. You will ask for my opinion, because to me, it's all about giving back. So I think that, you can, anyone that's on this call or anyone that's troubled somehow can certainly reach out, and I will help to the best of my ability. Now, that doesn't mean I can fix everything. So remember that, my career as a consultant was basically as a fix-it man. You saw what Mike Lewis said about me at Cummins, and I was biased towards action, fixing things and getting them better and making them better for everybody. I can't fix everybody, but it can help you and direct you on where to go for the help and how to get it and how to see it. So I can help you share vision and where you can use the vision to be most successful. So I don't know if that specifically answers your question, Sean, but it's a good question.
That answers my question. I just wanted to make sure that other people knew as well as myself that you're always open to helping people out and assisting them with anything they needed.
Yeah, I think you gotta sit back and say, I can't, as a mentor, I can't say I'm going to hide this thing and you can't see it. A good buddy of mine years ago, Mike from San Diego, he called me and he said, Ron, you're just like every other executive. You know what you're doing, you know what the game plan is, you know how to fix things. But he says, you're unlike every other executive in this way. You give it all away. He said, most people keep it for their competitive advantage. It's a great life when you can say that I've learned all this stuff and I've had all these great mentors in the world. And if you buy the book, Growing Comes from Planting Seeds, I tell you about some of my mentors, which are great people. Not that they accomplished great things, it's that they did great things for others. And so you start to think about, who influenced you and that kind of stuff. But, getting back to Mike's comment about me, that's what I think you should do in your life, is give it away. It's not for you to own or you to keep. It's for the world to benefit from. And maybe that's kind of unique. I don't know. But I would think there's probably more people like me than you realize. So next question. Are we out of questions?
I think so.
We're out of questions, and we've got, from a timing standpoint, I guess we've gone almost an hour.
Mm-hmm.
So listen, I want to wrap up and tell you that, what's provided me most of my success in my career is again, being simple about this, is working as a kid, connecting the dots, making things happen, driving success. And it's parlayed into my adult career by working with people that, understand how to get them on the right track, how to make them successful, how to drive success, and teach someone how to do it themselves. So it's been a fun life. This is by no means goodbye to anybody, but it's been a fun life, been pretty exciting. And that's what causes me to write the books. So I want to thank you, everybody, for taking an hour out of your day. I do appreciate you calling in, and I do appreciate you listening. And I look forward to working with all of you and helping you wherever you need help. Thanks, everybody, and have a good night.
Thank you for your words and wisdom, Ron. Always appreciated.
Thanks, buddy.